Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in, and I want to talk to you about ONDO Finance in this video. We had a huge milestone within ONDO announcing their presence within the XRP ledger. I want to talk about that price action we saw from that move, as well as kind of why ONDO is continuing in the red direction, okay? I talked to you guys a lot about ONDO Finance here on my channel, and it is still one of the cryptos I'm most bullish for in 2025. When we talk RWAs, we have to talk ONDO, and I want to get deeper into that discussion in this video. So let's get into it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Be sure to hit that like button. Appreciate you guys. And if you're watching over on X, make sure you all do the same as well. Let's get right into the chart as we get into this discussion. We are going to look into kind of the overall market real quickly at the time of recording on the crypto bubbles. And you can see right now, as it currently stands, ONDO down 12%. So another red day as we've given back 40.4% on the last 30 days. Now, ONDO is seated below $1.84 on the chart and ranked in that top 35. We did drop one spot, now 34th in total market cap. So why is this all important? Well, here we are, guys. We'll look at BTC on BTCC. That is the exchange I use as we look at the number one crypto down, now trading at 80,000 approximately. So a sharp sell-off stemming just days after the crypto summit in Washington, D.C. Kind of unbelievable if you want to even just put a word on it. I don't even know what that word would be, but completely mind-baffling what happened. We have everything setting up in our favor, in our direction, and crypto still continues to underperform. And it's seemingly, I talked about this in a little bit on a different video, and I don't know, is Donald Trump becoming the next Jim Cramer? When he says something's good, it just seems like the market sells off. So I don't really know what, quite frankly, has to happen from here, because what I worry about is that we lose all of the retail money and just the people that are investing in utility from a tech standpoint, and then they're just going to be left in the dust within not being able to keep up as institutions continue to probably buy these dips and play the long game. So let's get kind of into the conversation for ONDO. I'll pull up their chart. And guys, if you don't use BTCC, I do have a link down below. They have a couple promotions running right now. And if you use my link down below, you do get to sign up with that exchange. It's one of the longest standing exchanges out there. Also for US-based clients, you can trade spot and futures on that platform. So that does give you an edge in terms of your crypto trading. If you're into that kind of thing, make sure it's right for you and sign up using my link down below, okay? And let's switch gears a little bit and get back into the discussion. What is happening with ONDO, okay? Right now, guys, if we look into it, we had one of the bigger announcements coming out for ONDO Finance as we have deployed the OUSG on the XRP ledger. We all talked before about this collaboration, and now it's here. And then all of a sudden, ONDO dropped 10% on March 7th, March 8th, and now as we get into March 9th, I showed you guys exactly what ONDO is doing, down another 10% in the last 24 hours. So coming from a person who bought ONDO at various price levels, we were talking about it over the past year. We were buying ONDO around 50 cents, and this is a relatively young crypto. Okay, I'll never tell you guys to buy or sell a crypto. However, this is one of my favorite plays that I have personally, and pretty much, not to put a number on it, but if you wanted to actually kind of do price predictions and go down that route, if RWA really does get to where it's going to, could be one of the safest 10Xs in crypto that we're staring at right now on the screen. So that's kind of where I'm at with ONDO Finance. A big believer in RWA. We talk kind of about the collaborations, what's in place with who's in Washington, D.C. I think that really does lend towards the narrative that ONDO's poised for a lot of success. And make sure you do your own research and due diligence. Like I said, I'll never tell you to buy or sell a crypto, but I want to talk about what happened. Okay, so the big news of the day back on the 7th was we had the integration from the OUSG into the XRP ledger. Okay, now what that does is it's facilitating institutional investors access to a product that combines obviously security, compliance, and yield. Okay, this does suggest long-term growth for the product and adoption. That's kind of where I'm at. And I think that we need to kind of zoom out, not always within the charts, but zoom out with the mindset. We just have had Trump in office for 2 months. Okay, they still don't even have a firm grasp on who's actually going to be, at these roundtable discussions about the future of cryptocurrency and how the government's going to approach it. And you have to remember, crypto is not just a United States interest. This is a worldwide system of financial integration, okay? And if you want to go past finances, the multiple use cases and utilities there are for blockchain worldwide, it's almost endless, okay? And I think sometimes we get one-track mind, and it's kind of like you wonder why there's a conflict going over in the Middle East, or it's going over, Russia, Ukraine. Why is my crypto down? Everything is connected. It's very much a good thing and a bad thing at times. So the same thing applies to ONDO. They could be rolling. They could be doing exactly what they need to be doing, developing, continuing down the roadmap that they want to do in order to get where they're going to. And it doesn't mean a darn thing. I've said that a lot of times with Cardano in the past, and it's something that holds true today. ONDO's kind of set for that same trajectory, right? It's all about the tech. It's all about the utility and kind of just that low and slow approach where, okay, maybe we're not going to have that 50% day. Sometimes it'll happen, but when it doesn't happen, we don't need to pound the alarm and run for the hills, because if you believe in the trajectory of ONDO and what they're going to bring to the table in terms of RWA, you can't ignore it, okay? And it's something where the way I feel about certain cryptos, and ONDO fits this bill, let it keep going down. If you were buying ONDO, are you trading it? That's kind of where I'm at, right? It fits in that category. Bitcoin to an extent. ONDO, we talk sometimes. Solana is definitely not a conversation, but I don't swing trade ONDO Finance, okay? Simply put, this is for me a buy and hold. It's a very naive crypto in its lifespan. It's not been around forever, okay? But this is kind of where we look into what this is going to do. And I think that's kind of why we need to focus on the news, not so much the price action. Sure, ONDO's down 10%. Does it really matter? Were you going to sell it today? But then all of a sudden we have people thinking about selling their ONDO Finance because they don't want to see the price dip, okay? The ONDO Finance that we bought a year ago does not matter compared to the ONDO Finance today. It's a better product, it's a better crypto, and it's a better price, but all of a sudden there's all this fear, uncertainty, and doubt where we are trading in the one of the best climates probably in the history of cryptocurrency, and all of a sudden everybody gets flighty. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But as we look into it, guys, ONDO and XRP, that's simply a collaboration, a marriage that is meant for crypto. And if you want to look into it, this is something where they're going to bridge the gap between traditional finance and DeFi ecosystems. And that's kind of where RWAs are going to have a definite stranglehold kind of in the future. So I think when we get moving for institutions, and I'm always in that ballpark too, where it's glass half full, half empty, I don't really know if institutional interest is great for crypto. We're supposed to be taking the centralization out and making it decentralized. So I think sometimes when you get a little too governmental, a little bit too institutional, I think that we might be putting the centralization back in DeFi. And that's kind of where I do struggle a little bit with the mindset. But on the same token, adoption's adoption. So I will welcome in new crypto traders. I just hope that, if they're better traders and they're built for that kind of trading, in terms of volume and just sheer force, and they can muscle around some of the retail in crypto, let's just make this a place for everyone and not just a TA frenzy where you have all the, you have Wall Street making moves that, myself and you guys and probably a lot of people that aren't watching this video are included in, okay? So crypto is meant for everyone. Let's keep it that way. I don't think institutionally we have anything to worry about right now. I just kind of worry about down the line a little bit that if we don't have adoption growing alongside of institutional interest, it does set up for a little bit of what we could see and call market manipulation at the top. And I don't quite frankly like saying that. It comes off a little fuddy for me, but that's kind of where you have to mention it because that's the only really rationale that I can provide at this time, okay? This was the actual post from ONDO Finance. That's why we're deploying the OUSG to the XRP ledger. And we talked about kind of what that all entails, but this is something where I've traded on the ledger, and we all know kind of what they're built for: high performance, low transaction fees. It's the ideal platform for tokenizing RWAs, and that's kind of where ONDO's adoption fund is going to. Their goal is to ensure initial liquidity of a product before they get offered up by these traditional institutions. So they're needed essentially to facilitate all of this. Everything that in theory that we want ONDO to do, we need the ledger or some very similar kind of product to help facilitate that in order to go smoothly and actually work, okay? What ONDO wants to do is go fine and dandy, but ONDO chain's not here yet, and that's kind of the issue that we're having as we kind of look at kind of what they want to do from a blockchain perspective. But as we talk about the price going down, like I said, I don't care. Actually, I hope it goes down farther, to be honest. I hope that everybody runs to the hills and panics, because it goes back to what I said earlier in this video. If you believed in ONDO a year ago, you should honestly be rooting for the price to go down, because if the price goes up, great. That's just a talking point unless you're planning on selling or swing trading ONDO. If you're holding ONDO, I want more discounted prices, okay? And if you don't have, that huge chunk of capital just to enter the market at one time, which, I'm not going to give financial advice, but dollar cost averaging is always a better strategy, in my opinion, for these reasons. It does allow you a little bit more flexibility where, hey, maybe I didn't have enough capital to buy a boatload and back up the truck, say a few months ago under 60 cents. And then now here we are, guys, where we're still under $1 once again, and it does open up that opportunity. So that's kind of how I feel about it. I think that there are a lot of things for longer term growth with ONDO. I think that this fluctuation that we've seen, this is something with the overall market and kind of the volatility. I think that we have this battle between regulation and just this new era where everybody and their brother's talking cryptocurrency. I don't think you can turn on a news outlet and not hear the word cryptocurrency. So that's a good thing and that's a bad thing, because it does welcome a lot of people that maybe have not seen any volatility. They're used to traditional finance and the stock exchange and NASDAQ and all that good stuff, where you're more used to the day-to-day. Trust your 401k, trust your retirement, trust your investment advisors, your brokers, and they kind of make all those decisions. Here now with crypto, everybody and their brother has a Coinbase account, and if you don't, I'm not here to make anybody mad, just using kind of the number one in America to talk about it. So the decisions are left more up to you, and that's kind of the issue, I think, moving forward, where we're going to have this volatility until we really get on a trajectory where altcoin season starts, and it really, quite frankly, doesn't matter. But I told you guys my position stance. I don't plan on selling ONDO anytime soon. So let the price be bearish. Let it be bearish. Let the numbers be bearish. Let all the TA behind it. Let's fill the market up. Let's get that price as low as possible. And that's just the beauty of it. So that's how I feel about it today. The TA, though, behind ONDO, if we do want to talk a little bit about that, we have to kind of talk about the support. Obviously, we do have some resistance at $1.10. And then if we do break out from that, it's going to be something where it won't be ONDO related, in my opinion. I think it's going to be something more so macro that does take us to where we want to go. So everything's kind of set up. It's just we need to get those conditions, and I don't know what better conditions than we can have than what here we have on the charts right now in terms of what's the United States doing. I just think that there's still a lot of unknowns, and I think there is a sleeping giant upon us that's just waiting to break out. So I'll leave you guys with that. Appreciate your time. Thank you all for watching my little rant and rundown of what ONDO Finance is doing, but that's kind of where we are on the charts. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join us here on the channel, and if you're watching over on X, make sure you give me a follow, and we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.